everybody, and welcome to Yotpo's Revolve Summit. Thank you so much for tuning into our session, Why Brands Are Turning to Mission-Driven Marketing to Drive Retention. My name is Savannah. I am the head of partner success at Shop and Gives, and I'm lucky enough to be co-hosting today with Dulcie.
Hi, I'm Dulcie. I'm Associate Director of D2C Strategy at The Stable, and you're probably wondering what The Stable is. So we're a modern commerce agency that connects brands and consumers across all channels. Our unique variety of multitude of offerings continue to drive and grow brands of all sizes, stages, and verticals.
And at Shop and Gives, we are a social impact commerce platform that enables brands to give back to the causes that matter most to them and their customers. We truly believe that doing good as a brand means doing well as a business.
Awesome. So if you're interested in sharing the recording or want to know more about what you learned today, feel free to reach out, use the hashtag and the links below to get in touch and hear more. So to kick it off today, we'll talk about, firstly, what is mission-driven marketing? So mission-driven marketing is effective in tapping into customers' emotions. We know that emotional marketing can be used to connect with consumers and elicit a response. These emotions really stick with people, and they tend to remember when and why they felt them and tend to act on these decisions more impulsively and more frequently. Studies have shown that when making decisions, people rely on emotions over information. We see in results from ad campaigns that those that use purely emotional content were twice as successful compared to those with purely rational content. So what makes mission-driven marketing, especially sustainability, so important for e-commerce brands today? AKA, why should we care about this? Climate change, environmental impact, and sustainability are becoming top priorities for your shoppers, to the point where our next decade's consumers won't decide to buy based on product quality or price, but on sustainability and brands' dedication to environmental action. Savannah, could you talk a bit more about ways brands can be mission-driven in their marketing?
Yeah, absolutely. It's important to keep in mind before we dive into some of the tactics that you can use in your marketing that when you are speaking about your mission, you want to be as consistent and as authentic as possible. Customers have more access to information today than they ever have before. And so it's really easy for them to tell when a brand is greenwashing. They're able to look into the work that you're doing or not doing in order to determine whether or not you're truly mission-driven. A recommendation that we have is that you want to give back to the causes that you mentioned caring about often. It's also important to keep in mind that when you create your brand mission, you want to stick to it. So don't just hop on every awareness month that happens throughout the year, especially if it's not relevant to you and your company. It's important to give your attention and your time to the causes that matter most to you and are most relevant to your customers. How can we think about loyalty a bit more, and what is loyalty really? So according to Yotpo's The State of Brand Loyalty in 2022, 38% of respondents buy from a brand 5 or more times before they consider themselves loyal to that brand. 80% of consumers say that being loyal to a brand means they tend to buy from the same brand. And 84% of consumers are more inclined to purchase from a brand whose values align with their own. So again, it's really important that you're taking into account what your customers care about when you're building that brand mission. At Shop and Gives, we talk about including your mission throughout the entire funnel. So that includes the organic social post where you talk about how all of your stationery is made from recycled materials, all the way through to the newsletters that you send to your loyalty members that shows exactly how much has been donated to reforestation efforts. If you don't necessarily know where your customers care to give, there are plenty of ways to figure out how, including polls on social media, surveys you send to customers, or if you use the Shop and Gives platform, you're actually able to see what causes your customers are choosing from any 501c3 within the US. That gives you as the brand the data to see where exactly your customers care to give and then better make your mission for the brand. Dulcie, how do you see your brands giving back and mentioning cause marketing throughout their funnel as well?
We see, a lot of brands reward for educational content. So customers can read blog posts about your brand mission and watch sustainability focused videos. This is a great way to drive home, again, what you care about. As Savannah said, keep this limited to, a few prime causes and don't just hop on those trends. People see right through that these days. So emotional connections and shared values, especially regarding shoppers' brand loyalty, really do go hand in hand. And, brands that really create authentic engagement within their customer base, by deepening connections based on common beliefs, will have an edge over competition and build stronger loyalty and trust. So again, how does retention play into all of this? So, brands often ask, how do you make your high-level corporate mission connect with individual shoppers? How do you catalyze shoppers to take action themselves? And how do you educate and ensure that customers are aware of your dedication to sustainability? And the answer here is loyalty. So loyalty programs are a great solution for connecting shoppers with your brand values. So through strategic campaigns and reward structures, you can really align with shoppers on what matters most. You also get the opportunity as a brand to allow members to take part in active change. You can incentivize shoppers to learn about and participate in your sustainability goals. And once you make your consumers feel like they're doing good, that emotional response will make them much more likely to come back and do it again. Do you want to speak more, Savannah, about how Shopping Gives comes into play here?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Dulcie mentioned, there are kind of two key strategies that we look at when we're using a loyalty program to easily connect shoppers with the brand mission and values. One is rewarding shoppers for their donations, and two is inviting shoppers to participate in in-person events. So on the rewarding side for loyalty actions, you can look at this in two ways: earning points for donations or redeeming points for donations. With Yotpo and Shopping Gives' integration, you as a brand could say, hey, we give 1% back for every purchase that's made. But if you as a customer would like to add on a donation out of your own pocket for $1, $3, $5, or $10, you can earn 100 points for every dollar that you are donating as a customer. You're enabling your customers to join the mission that you have already given to as a brand and incentivizing them to give as well. On the flip side, your customers can then use the points that they've earned to redeem other donations. So if you wanted to say 300 points is a $5 donation, they can do that directly on your site and again, be contributing to your brand mission. One of our partners, Sakara, currently does this to give back to the nonprofits that they already support as their partners. They've given back to Every Mother Counts and Wellness in the Schools with the help of their customers, and they will continue to give back to causes that matter most to them. I would really recommend this for brands that are meeting their customers online and have a lot of D2C shoppers. It's also a really great activation for brands that don't necessarily want to have a lot of sales or a lot of discounts provided for points. Donation gives you a way to provide value to your customers without necessarily having to give them a discount, and you're both funding meaningful change by doing so. Dulcie, can you speak to some of those in-person events as well?
Sure. So one way that we see brands, able to connect with customers is by inviting members to participate in community-centric experiences. So making sure that your loyalty members aren't just earning points that can be redeemed, but reward them with experiences that, again, deepen their connection with the brand. So when you combine social impact with a loyalty program, it really has the power to drive more purpose-driven purchases, create more authentic relationships with your customers, and in turn, increase loyalty and customer lifetime value. I've said it before and I'll say it again, we feel good when we do good. So making customers feel like they're doing good will naturally bring customers back to your brand and website, which can really drive customer connection and retention. One brand that does a great job of this is Credo Beauty, where they offer loyalty members points to recycle their used products in store through their partnership with Pact, a beauty-focused nonprofit. To avoid introducing more virgin plastics to landfills, shoppers can deposit small plastic bottles, tubes, etc. in packed bins throughout their physical retail locations. So while the customers earn points for every product recycled, it's also an effective method to bring foot traffic into your stores, perhaps even driving additional purchases in the process.
Credo has definitely gotten me with that. I am always recycling and always purchasing new products from them as well.
Awesome. So to close things up, we'll just reiterate that mission-driven marketing and emotional loyalty drives real results and real retention, as shown by brands that take time to build out an effective and mission-driven emotional marketing strategy. They provide customers with the feeling of doing good while interacting with the brand, which is a memory and a connection that will last multiple times and turn your customers into brand loyalists. Sav, anything to add here?
I think you got it covered. Thanks so much, Dulcie.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.